And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Illini Drive. I am Nathan DeHaan, joined with Jake Hasan, Brendyn Jones, and Alex Aguilera. Alex, I didn't forget you today. I forgot Alex yesterday, if you guys were listening. And it is Wednesday, September 4th. And we are one day away from NFL football. We are in the middle of a college football week. We talked a little bit about Illinois football yesterday, but today I want to start with a different Illinois sport because we have the Daily Illini's very own volleyball writer Brendyn Jones in studio. Before we get to volleyball, Brendyn, how was your summer? How are you doing?
It was pretty good. I worked at a summer camp all summer, which I've done for the past 2 years, so it was really good. I've been going there for a long time, so it's just good to see everybody and then do what I love.
Yeah, it looked like fun. I think I saw like a picture or two on Facebook or something.
Were the kids good?
Yeah, the kids were good.
Okay,
dope.
Yeah. Alex just checking in. What other kids are good is the Illinois volleyball team, and they played very well this weekend against Tennessee. Brendyn, I mean, learn us something. Teach us about this volleyball team. What's different than last year? What the outlook is, all that.
So they came in ranked number 6 in the nation. That's kind of like lower than what everybody expected, but they did lose 2 All-American seniors last year. One, Jordan Poulter, who was the best player on the team for a minute. But we retained a couple people, or they retained a couple people. Jackie Quaid is amazing. She's was an All-American last season. Going into her senior year, the first game she put up 31 kills and I think 14 digs. So that was really good. And then Ashlyn Fleming is another senior who plays in that front line, and she's really good. But I think something that surprised a lot of people, they're dealing with a lot of injuries, and a couple freshmen. Kennedy Collins stepped up really big. She's a middle blocker. And Diana Brown, who's a redshirt freshman who didn't play last year because she plays Poulter's position. A lot of the girls are speaking really highly of her, saying she's a really good floor general, and she does everything that she needs to do. So this team is 2-0, and they should be really exciting for this season.
So I'm looking at the schedule right now. When is Illinois expected to be tested next? When do they have a matchup like Tennessee?
Well,
I don't know how much you know about the landscape of college volleyball.
So their non-conference is, the Washington team I think is ranked that they're going to play this weekend in the Big Ten Pac-12 Challenge. Colorado's not ranked, but they're a good team. I think Marquette's a pretty good team. So they have a pretty tough non-conference schedule, but when the test really starts is they come here, they face Nebraska, who obviously beat them in the Final Four last season.
Sure.
That'll be their first match at Huff Hall since last weekend, but it'll be a month at that time. So that should be a really fun game if you guys are looking for something to do. That's the 27th, but that should be when their test really starts because Big Ten volleyball, that's the best conference in the nation for volleyball. So yeah.
No doubt. Yeah. So. Illinois volleyball, we've been done saying it last year. We're going to keep saying it. They're the best team on campus. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They're they're top 10. There's no question, and deserving of their high ranking. So, if you ever want to go see a really, really, really good volleyball team,
fun.
Just a really good team in general.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm actually with Brendyn. I think they should have been ranked higher. 6. Like when I saw 6, I was like, that's kind of low. I thought
that's disrespectful
for a team that went to the Final Four and was like this close
they were
to
so
the championship.
That's
like I really thought they'd be top 4 at least, top 5 maybe.
Yeah, I understand why they're not, but like I wouldn't have been surprised if they were.
I understand it, but they're wrong. The rankings are wrong.
I'm looking at the rankings right now.
They moved up in the national rankings, but
it's Stanford, Nebraska, Minnesota, Texas, Wisconsin, and then Illinois.
Oh, they have
Texas.
They have two.
Texas is a new one.
Texas. This is Winnie Tech. Okay, let me stop.
They've got that's the thing. 2 Big Ten teams ahead of them. So this team is so good, and yet they're not even nationally known as the best Big Ten team. And Penn State's right behind them at number 8. Yeah. The Big Ten is just a gauntlet.
It's going to be come October when the Big Ten schedule really starts. It's going to be some fun volleyball. So if you guys are in the area, show up because it's dope.
Yep. Quick reminder that Illini Drive is brought to you by University of Illinois Division of Intercollegiate Athletics, fightingillini.com. Unify, develop, inspire, achieve. Okay, hopping over really quickly, we're going to hit on Illinois football. Because we sort of spoke our piece about it yesterday. Brendyn, how hot you feeling? How cold you feeling? What'd you see? What do you like? What don't you like?
As a fan, obviously you love to see almost 40-point victory, but you have to remind yourself that it's Akron every time I think about how good they are or how good they showed up.
My guy.
Last Saturday.
My guy.
Brendyn Peters looked, really, really good against the Akron defense. He looked super poised. He didn't look nervous to start in his first game against Illinois, which was really good to see. Obviously, it hurt to see Mike Epstein go down, especially because of the offseason they've had with injuries. But the defense was pretty good. Their offense was able to sustain for longer. I'm happy to see them not give up more than 3 points.
The thing I really liked was just it's Akron, it's Akron's defense, but the offense was successcul, and like the things that they tried, they succeeded at, and they scored on their opening drive, they scored on their second drive. I think they scored on I think 5 of their first 7 drives. I mean, when that offense was in place, yes, it's Akron, but they were successful. Passes were complete. The line looked great. That's the one thing. It kills teams in the NFL and college everywhere is having a bad offensive line, and Illinois has not struggled with that at all. With the team being just sort of in the bottom of the Big Ten, they've had one of the better lines the entire time.
Even with losing Allegretti.
Mm-hmm. That's the only starter that you lost.
Right, and that's still. I mean, then you have a guy like Palachewski to step up, and now he's like the captain. He's like also a monster.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it sets up nicely for especially the running game to have some extended success like they did last year.
Was it 2 of them got like the Big Ten All-Play of the
League?
Yeah, that was cool to see.
They were among the top. So when you consistently do that, like you're gonna have a good unit, especially. I mean, Brendyn Peters looks pretty good. Looks pretty good.
Yeah, we talked about it yesterday. I love Brendyn Peters. Looks like a Big Ten quarterback. I mean, obviously, played at Michigan, but with AJ Bush, with MJ Rivers, with Westline, it just didn't feel like Illinois had a Big Ten quarterback,
like a true quarterback.
Yeah, he was recruited and started at Michigan, and now he is here, playing with this offense that it's going to put up a lot of points this year. It's going to be a lot of fun to see.
Well, let's ask Brendyn what we asked ourselves yesterday. Is this Brendyn Peters, I mean, again, through one game, but probably the best, most complete quarterback we've seen since blank.
I'm not even sure.
Who was the quarterback for like the 2002 Sugar Bowl team? That was he. No.
I think I was 5 years
Seriously,
old.
it was like he played in the NFL. I think is it Kittner? I have no idea. Yeah, it was Kirk Kittner. Thank you. But because even Juice, even Isaiah Williams in the 2007 Rose Bowl team. I mean, he just balled out that true freshman year. I don't think he was really as good of a quarterback as Brendyn Peters, and I don't know. We're all very high. This is a Brendyn Peters podcast or live radio show.
Brendyn Peters, come on the program.
Ooh, that'd be great. That would be great. We need to work on actually getting people in the studio for things this year. Yeah, very exciting. Before we hop off football, really quickly, Brendyn, what's your final score prediction and why?
For this UConn game?
No. I said final score prediction. That's my bad. I meant final record and final score. We can preview.
I don't know. I'm so hesitant to say 6. I mean, I guess 5 is like meeting expectations, and 6 is like is like slightly exceeding them. But I feel like this team does have a lot to fight for. They have a bunch of guys that, led the team last year that are injured that they want to fight for. They got this new facility. Everybody's saying they don't deserve it. They have a lot of people to prove wrong. So
that's so rude.
Yeah, it's so rude when people are like, oh, man, 4 wins and they got a new facility. I'm like, get
so
over
mean.
it. Like, yeah, it's so mean.
So unnecessary, too.
And it's like, how do you get recruits to come to the school? Is you have an awesome facility.
Top-class facility.
Yeah, you do something like that.
I'm hoping 6. I think 6. Yeah.
They're gonna call 6.
I'll call 6.
Let's go.
All right. You and Jake are the optimists. Me and Alex both have 5 and 7. Alex really wanted to say 1 and 11, but
I wanted to say 4. I really wanted to say 4, but I was like, nah. Like, the 5 is.
I mean,
we'll get 5.
Yeah.
If it comes to 5, like that's when all those questions about like what's happening with the program, like that's when they're valid.
I'd just be really happy to see 5. I'd be like, wow.
Wow, this is peak athletic performance that I am
sub 500 football.
My mind is gonna be blown if we get 5 wins.
God, 6 would be so nice though. It would be so cool.
Oh, 6, forget
Go
about
to
it.
no. I'm not forgetting. We went down this rabbit hole yesterday.
I love how you guys
I
act like
wouldn't-
one win is like this enormous chasm, like 5 to 6.
Yeah.
Like
It only takes like one upset.
The problem is the games are definitely not going to upset the team or the ones that are at home. Like if we had Michigan State and Iowa at home at the end of the year, I'd maybe be like, maybe they pounce on them, but I don't think they take down Nebraska early. I think that's their first test and they falter. And then I think the other winnable games are, as we said, Minnesota, Purdue, Rutgers, Northwestern, and then to really do something, you'd have to do Michigan State or Iowa. I don't know, man.
I don't think that's impossible.
I don't think it's a possible outcome.
Revenge game against Iowa? I don't know. I don't know.
Brandon Peters' revenge game at home against Michigan.
Oh man. Let's go.
We talk ourselves into this very easily every time.
We never learn. We've been
No.
doing this for so long.
No,
We don't
okay,
learn.
it's now that we're saying like, oh, we never learn, but it's really going to be prevalent after Eastern Michigan when we're sitting here and we're like, man, this team looks
3-0.
Like, I don't know. Why are we getting votes yet? Oh man, we should preview UConn though, because that's something that we did not do yesterday, and we won't meet again until after that game. So at UConn, 2:30 on CBS Sports. Saturday, and UConn is also one of the worst college football teams in the nation. So Illinois should look pretty good against this team again, especially with their defense was one of 2 defenses that was even worse than Illinois' last year. Alex said on the show yesterday they allowed over 600 yards of total offense per game last year, and the unit didn't get a whole lot better. Did anybody get fired for that? Did anyone is this?
UConn.
Are they just running it back?
I
or-
mean, it's UConn. I doubt it. Like, who are they going to go hire to replace like a head coach? I assume a coordinator or someone got fired, and we just don't know it because we're not really on the pulse of UConn football. But
it's like when you give up 600 yards per game.
yeah, somebody's got to go.
The last 4 games of UConn's season last year, they lost 49-19, 62-50, 55-21, and 57-7 to Temple.
Wow,
It's just a tough look.
who's that 62-50 game game against?
SMU.
They got close.
Absolute barn burner.
Yeah.
A shootout in Connecticut.
They only beat Wagner by 3 points.
Yeah.
All right, but you know what? A win's a win.
Yeah, they are 1-0.
Alex is about to say a win's a win, and I think Illinois is going to lose this game.
Does UConn scare you?
A little bit. No.
God, you get me every time with that. No, not at all. There's nothing to be scared of. Illinois' defense. I said this yesterday. Illinois' defense is way better. The offense looks really good. Peters, I think, is going to take this offense to another gear than we saw against Akron when they get to beat up on UConn. So I think this is going to be a really good opportunity for Illinois to continue building chemistry and clicking together on both offense and defense.
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised.
There you go.
I wouldn't
That's
be
the
surprised.
return.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Vegas has the spread at 20.5. Does Illinois blow UConn out?
Yes.
You
I mean,
take
it was what, 17 against Akron?
Yeah, and that hit in the first half. I mean, I don't know, man. 20-point win is just a lot. I mean,
UConn's worse
we
than
just saw
Akron,
it. They're not worse. They're bad.
Okay.
Their defense might
They're
be.
trash tier level teams. They're both right there.
Both bottom. Like we said this yesterday. Like the CBS 130.
Yeah.
Their UConn is like 124, and Akron was 129. I guarantee Akron is dead last in that right now because.
Well, you think?
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Oh, he knows.
What do you? I mean, I feel like you're going to see exactly what you saw against Akron against
You're gonna
UConn.
see
I
what
mean,
you People say that often.
but I mean, like you saw a plethora.
Show is already off.
You had a plethora of running backs. A lot of people are going to contribute. There's no injury worry with Reggie Corbin, is there? I saw somebody that was trying to be like he was riding the bike on the sideline, like didn't really get a carry after the first.
Does that like every game. Like,
Yeah, I think because you're not going to play him when you're up 20 against Akron.
Right.
Like, why risk it?
I-
Let him get his work, but
I just want to make sure that I wasn't alone in this.
You know
I
how
don't
many
think he ever
Akron
got
players I
hurt.
saw on the bike during that game.
yeah,
It's like,
I also
come
feel
on.
like Reggie Corbin. Like, I feel like we said a lot that he was on the bike last year. I feel like that's just part of his routine. Like, I feel like
Right.
almost every game it was like Reggie Corbin's on the bike right now. We're like, cool.
Got to get the exercise in one way or another. Like,
All right, we're gonna do predictions and then hit a break. So let me hear final score predictions. Illinois at UConn. Jake, you're starting.
I will say that Illinois wins this game 47-10.
Ready?
Okay. I think UConn gets 2 touchdowns, so 14. But like,
Good math.
Thank you. I don't know. Illinois, yeah, I'm gonna go 47 as well.
47-14.
Yeah.
Alex?
Have an original thought for me one time, please.
Sorry. I
Well, you stole mine. I was gonna say 45-14.
You sticking with that?
Yeah, I'm gonna say 45.
We all got the 40s.
Yep.
I'm gonna go.
Well, no, 45.
I'm gonna do 42 to 10. I'm gonna do 42 to 10. I like that a lot.
Okay.
So with that, expect an Illinois blowout this weekend. We're not condoning gambling, but that spread is tasty.
We all have the spread hitting.
Yeah. We're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll talk about NFL. Zeke signed a deal, so stick with us. And we're back with Illini Drive. Reminder that Illini Drive is brought to you by the University of Illinois Division of Intercollegiate Athletics, fightingillini.com, unify, develop, inspire, achieve. You know what inspires me? That a week from today, I'm going to be filing into my seat at Soldier Field for the Green Bay Packers going off against one day in 24 hours.
I was like, dude, you're not going to see much if you're filing into a seat a week from today.
Yeah. I goofed on that. But I was just trying to find a way to subtly be like, oh, by the way, I'm going to be at the game. Just a quick little, slide in there. So I won't be on the show. Jake will be manning the board for me. Not the board, but you know what I'm talking about.
The ship.
Yeah, exactly. Bears Packers.
Do you need a minute to just regain your thoughts?
That's warming up. I was so ready. Like I was like, oh man, I'm gonna be there in a day. I got this sweet thing I'm gonna say right after the break.
This is gonna be so cool.
Jake just
completely blew it out of the water.
Jake just popped my tire, and I'm just slowly coming to a halt. You popped
your own tire. You know your dates,
dude. I could have just gone on not knowing. I could have lived my life in perfect bliss.
Yeah, well, I owe it to the listening public.
This is true,
right?
I'm
keep you humble,
viewers and listeners. I'm sorry. Bears Packers, very exciting. NFL season kicking off. Where do we start? I'm the resident Packers fan, but I'll look at this from as much of a objective view as I can. It's gonna whatever happens, it's gonna be a phenomenal.
Okay,
game.
let's go objective first, and then we can beat up on Nathan for a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna be an awesome game, like you said. It's 100th season of the NFL. All this stuff, like all the bells and whistles. They're gonna do all this stuff pregame. I'm sure there's gonna be stuff at halftime. And I mean, Bears Packers is hailed as one of the best rivalries in all of sports, let alone all of football. And, I mean, you have the Green Bay Packers, like this team that's ruled the NFC North, been Super Bowl contenders, have one of the greatest quarterbacks in the league and of all time in Aaron Rodgers, going up against the Bears, who have this awesome defense, Khalil Mack. The Bears won the division last year. Mm-hmm. Now it's kind of the reigniting of the rivalry, all this stuff going on. Great storyline. Great game to start the season off, I think, especially Thursday Night Football. It's great kickoff to the season. I'm really excited. It's going to be awesome. It's, like you said, phenomenal game.
Yeah, the NFL loves pulling this card. The Bears Packers was Sunday Night Football of last year, and it's or Monday Night Football of Week 1 last year, and now it's the kickoff to the 100th season, the oldest rivalry in football. I mean, for all the reasons you said, going to be a phenomenal game. Going to be so interesting to watch. The development of Mitchell Trubisky, because he didn't really play at all in the preseason. Rodgers didn't play at all in the preseason with Matt LaFleur's new offense. The Packers defense, they spent a lot of money to make it better. The Bears defense returns everyone except the guy that's wearing green and gold now, and Adrian Amos. Did the Bears do a lot of offseason moves that I'm blanking on right now?
No.
They just got
Montgomery, Mike Davis, haha.
Who's the?
I guess Ha would
Cordell Patterson.
Cordell Patterson.
Yeah, but nothing like.
No big splash.
Yeah.
I mean, the Packers went and got edge rushers, but it wasn't like they got Khalil Mack. It was Preston Smith and Zadarius Smith. I'm really excited for obvious reasons. Everybody's really excited. I mean, it's NFL football back.
Yep.
It's so good. It's so good.
It's gonna be awesome.
I'm doing a fantasy draft later tonight. I love
honestly, just the game speaks for itself. You already know. You kind of know what you're gonna get, so it's like. You just want to see it now.
Yeah, you know what you're going to get, but you also don't know what you're going to get, which is what I love. Is because like you talked about the reigniting of this rivalry. Like Bears Packers. As a Packers fan, it's fun for me when the Bears sucked and I could watch the Packers win every time. But it's a better rivalry, and it's just better for football when both teams are good.
It's more fun in general.
Exactly. So I think the Packers are going to win.
Obviously.
I know I'm in the minority.
That's fine. We don't discriminate.
You do. You guys do a little bit. But I don't know. Okay, this is what I want to know. Do you guys think it's a high-scoring game or a low-scoring game? Because I think it will.
Low.
The defenses and I'm seeing right now somebody saying sitting Rodgers in the preseason was a mistake because they need Rodgers and LaFleur need to work on their on-field chemistry, which I kind of get, but also it's the preseason. You don't want to risk that. Somebody who's been a walking,
the Bears didn't
glass.
play anyone during the preseason.
No, they didn't either. Yeah. So it's the first time a lot of these players, first time they're in action this season. I'm spiraling right now.
Yeah. I think the over/under is 47 or something like that, and I think that under is pretty safe.
I
would assume. Just because I think
it's like a 20-17 game.
I think it'll be something like that too, but I think it's going to be electric. I don't think it's going to be like a boring game.
No.
I think it's going to be. I think there's going to be turnovers. I think there's going to be big defensive plays, and I think you're going to get the big offensive plays. I think 2017. I'm more in the realm of like 24-21. I think kind of like last year. I think it's going to be around there. I still think the under is pretty safe, but then again, it could. I wouldn't be surprised if it went over too.
Because that's the thing. I mean, the way that Nagy coaches and also Aaron Rodgers' big playability, there's just potential for a touchdown at out of nowhere any time. So
yeah, if this was like a 31-27 game, I would not be surprised at all.
I wouldn't be mad either. I'd love to see some points scored. I made this comment the other day. I am obviously very excited, and I would rather go to the game than not go to the game. But there's also going to be something missing of just that first pan down on a football stadium filling up for the NFL game. And who does Thursday night? Is it Tirico? Because I love when it's Tirico.
Does he? Yeah, he must because it's NBC.
Yeah.
It would be
it must be him.
I love a good Mike Tirico intro.
He's one of the best.
It just fills you up right away. So yeah, I'm very excited for that for obvious reasons. We can touch on a little bit more of everybody. Is everyone good? Has everyone talked enough Packers? You guys didn't really gang up on me, which I appreciated.
Yeah, I don't know. I think
there's like a 3% chance the Packers win this game.
I'm not gonna let you just rile me.
I know Trey Burton's questionable from a Bears standpoint, but it's just like I don't know.
He practiced today though.
Yeah.
You out on Trey Burton?
Here's my thing with Trey Burton.
He gave me some solid fantasy points last year, so I'm not gonna.
Here's my thing with Trey Burton. It's that he was fine, and then we know he was hurt going into the Eagles game. And then this groin injury popped up, and then supposedly he had surgery for it, and then he was good to go, and then he wasn't, and then he practiced a little bit of mini camp and training camp, then he wasn't practicing, then he was maybe going to play a game in the preseason, then didn't play at all in the preseason, then was supposedly good to go for week 1, now isn't, now is practicing again. Like, I'm tired of the back and forth. Like, I'm sick of it. Just, are you going to play or you're not going to play? Like, and the thing is, I know Mitch Trubisky likes Burton, and Burton's like his safety blanket, he's this guy up the middle, and across the middle, but I don't think he's super. I think you can live without him because especially the jump that we're expecting Allen Robinson to make. Now he's a full year recovered from ACL surgery. I think that's going to make the loss, quote unquote, of Trey Burton it's not going to sting as much.
Okay,
interesting.
I'm not out on Trey Burton. I'm out on the situation.
You're just
back and forth. I feel that.
Yeah, you're sick of the switch flipping around.
What I want to ask though is I see a lot of people just predicting the Packers to have this amazing turnaround season. I understand this is a year that Aaron Rodgers is healthy and they got a little bit better on defense. But Nathan, why do you think that they're gonna? Or do you think they're gonna win the NFC North? Do you think they're gonna contend for a championship?
I think they'll contend for the NFC North. The Bears were 12-4 last year. That is above the ceiling of the Packers this year. I think realistically 11-5 or 10-6. I mean, my big thing, and I have friends that are I hate stop playing the injury card, but I mean he admitted he had a broken leg the entire season.
No, that's fair.
Somebody tweeted the other day, Rodgers played all 16 games last year, he wasn't hurt, and it was he's dealing with something all the time. So if he stays healthy, I mean you've got 12, you've got your guy that can win you any game, and he is just that good. I am a believer that the McCarthy system just eventually teams started to be able to read it very easily, and it sort of went away from some of the things that it did really well during the Super Bowl year and the year after. So I'm excited to see how LaFleur's offense is because I think it's going to be a little bit like Illinois, where it's a lot of running backs cycling through. It's doing a lot of different things behind the line and mixing it up. This is the most run heavy offense Rodgers has ever played in. So his attempts are going to be down a little bit, and hopefully maybe that keep the ball out of his hand. The risk of injury is a little bit less. So, and last year we weren't sure about the running back, and now we have Aaron Jones. That's locked in. The connection with Devontae looked great. If this new offense can get Jimmy Graham playing like Jimmy Graham, that reminder that Jimmy Graham is a really good tight end. He played underneath Lance Kendricks last year. So, I like they had a defense. They addressed a need, and it's sad to see Clay Matthews go, but it is what it is. Seeing him in a Rams jersey hurt.
Weird.
Yeah,
it hurt. I was watching Hard Knocks, and they played at the Rams, and there he was in this magnificent man bun, and
there he was.
what a guy. So yeah, I will say I think the Packers win the division. I, as a fan, will not be able to pull myself away from the want and the belief that my team can do well. But I think if the Bears do 12-4 again, the Packers would have to fight for a wild card spot because I think their ceiling is 11-5. All right. Rest of the NFL. Zeke signed a deal. 6 years. $90 million.
Yeah, a little bit of a deal. Yeah.
To be outdone earlier by Jared Goff, who has the most guaranteed money in a contract ever with his $134 million deal.
Was it 110 guaranteed or something like that?
Yeah. I think so. Because Wentz this offseason set the record for most guaranteed just to be beaten by Goff. Is this the way the contracts are going to keep going? Is that everyone is just going to keep just outdoing somebody? It was like a huge deal when whoever signed the quarterback, when Matt Ryan and Aaron Rodgers are signing their deals, all of a sudden everyone just started beating them, and now every quarterback, is Carson Wentz as good as those guys? Maybe. Is Jared Goff? Maybe, probably not. And yet they're the highest paid quarterback in the NFL.
I mean,
wild.
Mahomes and Deshaun Watson are next. I mean, I bet you they get deals after the season that both. I bet you Watson signs first, breaks whatever Goff's record, and then Mahomes shatters it. I bet you.
Yeah, and the thing is, Dak's looking for his deal. Does he think that he should even be in that ballpark? Right. does he think he should even be in that ballpark? But also, I think I'd pick Dak over Jared Goff. If you had to start a franchise right now, who's your quarterback? Dak or Jared Goff?
Probably Dak.
Yeah.
But I don't think Dak's better than Carson Wentz.
I don't think so either. But I
don't think Jared Goff's better than Carson Wentz either.
Number standpoint though, Jared Goff just signed the most guaranteed money ever.
Right.
Now Dak is we just random guys. Dak has the playing cards to be I'm better than that guy.
Right.
I don't know. I'm all in on the Dak hype train right now too.
Why? What?
I don't know, man. I
just feeling it.
There's something in my gut that's pulling me to. I waited for him in my fantasy draft. I probably will do it again in my draft tonight.
Interesting.
I will think. I think I know something, and I think that O line is going to protect him, and that him having a true wide receiver with Amari Cooper is going to raise that level. I don't know. But I also had Amari Cooper on my fantasy team last year, and everyone was like, "Oh, he's so good with the Cowboys," and I was like, "Why don't I have any points to prove it?" Good for Zeke. Melvin Gordon situation. Is anyone where are we on this? Because it feels like Le'Veon Bell, but also he doesn't have the playing cards the way the Le'Veon Bell did. Because Le'Veon Bell's what a lot of people didn't understand is that Le'Veon Bell was franchise tagged. Therefore, him sitting out meant that he just was a free agent next year. These other guys, if they don't play, they have another year on their deal. They will not be free agents next offseason.
I think the Chargers seem completely unwilling to give Gordon whatever money he thinks he deserves. And I mean, I'm all for paying the players. I'll always say that. And Melvin Gordon's great. He's a really good running back in the NFL. But I think that if he really is going to sit out and he says, I'll do it again next year too, which I doubt he would do, but I think I think it's going to come to a trade. Yeah. As probably the most likely scenario.
And I saw something that the only team that reached out was the Eagles. Which is weird. Because they have 6 running backs.
You know who I think comes into that? I bet you Bruce Arians makes some calls from Tampa Bay. Makes some calls to LA.
I would have loved to see him go Colts or Texans. Two teams that are on the cusp of the playoffs.
Yeah.
and they just need a running back.
I don't think the Colts will do it just because of the success that
But that
Marlon Mack had
Texas-
last year.
They're expecting Marlon Mack
A
to.
duo
Yeah,
of him and Deshaun Watson, that'd
be naughty.
That'd be something.
and DeAndre Hopkins. Like,
The Texans just keep saying, we don't need draft picks. Just get rid of them. I don't want them. I don't want any
that's
draft
not
picks.
bad. That's not bad.
I thought about Houston as well. That would be interesting.
Tampa Bay is interesting too. Tampa Bay is
think
a
about that.
weird team, man.
Oh, they are weird.
Yeah, man.
I don't know. Everyone's like expecting Bruce Arians to make this like miracle turnaround with Jameis Winston, like which we've been expecting forever, and it's just never happened.
This year, the clock is really ticking on Jameis Winston and Marcus
Arians is
Mariota.
great.
I was out on Jameis Winston when I saw him eat a W.
Yeah, that was.
Oh man,
that was
that's a hard look to come back from.
That was
that was brutal.
all right.
Embarrassing.
Anyway.
So now you trade for Melvin Gordon, take the spotlight off Jameis.
Yes.
There you go.
Melvin Gordon to Tampa.
No,
Let's
because
go.
then he's gonna get there and Jameis will be like, first thing you gotta do to join the team, you gotta eat a W.
Blech.
On that embarrassment of a note, we're gonna take another break. When we come back, I don't know what we'll talk about, but it'll be fun and you'll enjoy it. So
We
stick
had to
with
do the
us.
hypothetical with Brendyn.
No way. And welcome back to Illini Drive. Reminder that Illini Drive is brought to you by University of Illinois Division of Intercollegiate Athletics, fightingillini.com. Unify, develop, inspire, and achieve. So, some pretty shocking news that happened not so long ago. Was it last week?
Like we go, yeah.
One of the best quarterbacks in the league decided to up and retire and elected to take care of himself and get away from all the injuries that football had caused him when Andrew Luck stepped away. And it's not one of those, where were you when, but it kind of is.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, the first time you're reading that, you're like, oh my God.
Yeah, I was like, wait, what? And I told my little cousin, and I was just like, dude, Andrew Luck retired. And he thought I was joking. I was like, no, I'm dead serious. And I showed him my phone. He's like, oh my
Yeah.
God,
Yeah, because it comes out of nowhere. The guy's 29. I think he's the fifth best quarterback in the league right now, and he, the thing is, this is one of those I kind of hate this is one of those arguments that everyone can be like, good for him, and of course good for him. Of course, you're going and you're taking care of your health and you're getting away from sort of the head injuries that football obviously causes, and you
taking
have
control of
lacerated
his career,
kidney
his
and
life,
he's taken quite a few hits and appreciated and tapped people on the back after they hit him too. What's up, Jake? You raised your hand.
Who are the four quarterbacks you have above Luck?
Mahomes, Rodgers, Brady, and Breeze.
Interesting.
Who would you say?
Nothing. I was just trying to figure it out on my own. I wasn't sure if you were including Mahomes or not. I thought there was an outside chance you included Russell Wilson over Mahomes, but I wasn't sure. But otherwise, I had the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure.
I hate giving Patrick Mahomes top 5 NFL quarterback right now because he just had one, he's only had one season.
But it was a really
But
good
it was a
season.
50 touchdown. It was an MVP season. So, yeah, I have Mahomes.
I'm cool with that.
Okay, I'm glad.
I was just curious.
I don't know. The Andrew Luck thing I feel like is one of those things that like everyone says good for him, and everyone's like, yeah. There's no other
Right,
side of
yeah,
it.
yeah.
If you're on the other side of Andrew Luck retiring, you just look like a jerk. You look like Doug Gottlieb saying like
That was so weird.
He's
it was-
corny, bro.
That was so weird.
Yeah.
Him and Dockich.
Yeah.
So it was very odd.
Yeah, like-
It's an odd stance to take.
yeah, it is.
I don't want to say it's like eye-opening because like obviously we know how dangerous football is and how dangerous like the history of football was. But like, I don't know, often when, it gets into the preseason and it gets into, oh my God, the season's going to start, we kind of like forget about it or like at least put it in the back of our mind. But like,
Right.
I don't know, these situations where, these players are able to take, charge of their own destiny despite whatever anybody tells them. It kind of just reminds us that like, these are humans too. Like this is a crazy situation that they're in. And, with how dangerous football is, and like we really need to understand that.
I remember I had the same reaction when Calvin Johnson retired. This dude's he's like 6'4", 200 pounds. Like this dude's a beast. And he just ups and retires, and I'm like, what? Of course you have that initial reaction. It's like, dude, you're at the top of your game, you're in your prime. Why you're leaving the game? And like you said, Brendyn, when you take into account injuries and all that, I was hearing something that Calvin Johnson was popping pain pills like nothing, and it's like, what, dude? Like that's. The number that these guys put, it's like, that's just scary, So, I mean, like Nathan said, you're a jerk if you have a problem
for
with
real.
Andrew Luck retiring. I don't have a problem. I salute him for taking control of his life.
So in Indianapolis now at Lucas Oil Stadium, Jacoby Brissette's the man. How do you feel if you are the Colts front office or a fan of the Colts now that Jacoby, next man up, it's Jacoby Brissette?
I mean, obviously you don't feel as good as when you thought Andrew Luck was going to be starting, but you have one of the best backups in football ready to play, knows the offense, did well last year when, he played. So you can't feel that bad, like, in the situation, I guess.
I agree with that. I mean, we forget that Jacoby Brissette came in a week before the season started. What was that, 2017?
Mm-hmm.
And he did a really, really good job. And he did a really good job for the Colts. And, I mean, the Patriots drafted him out in the 3rd round out of NC State for a reason. Yeah. I mean, the Patriots never draft a quarterback that high, knowing who they have in that room. And Jimmy Garoppolo was still there at the same time. And they said, hey, we got to draft this guy 3rd round. Like, NC State, this Brissette kid, he's really good. So I think Brissette's really good. And obviously the Colts feel really good because they gave him an extension.
Right.
Yeah, So you said one of the best backup quarterbacks in the league, and I agree with that. Is there anybody better?
Is there anybody better than him?
As backup quarterback right now?
And I'd have to look, but I'm not. Not off the top of my head.
Comes to mind.
Not really
at the moment.
I don't think there's anybody you're looking at. There's any other backup you're looking at around the league. And you're like, oh, we're taking him. We want it because they would have traded for him then.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's not
Blake Bortles.
It's not that it's a bad
beater man
or good. It's not that it's a bad or good situation. I think it's just all right. You got a guy that could do something. Let's see how it goes. I mean, we can't.
I think the most exciting thing about the Colts was that when Andrew Luck was playing a lot, like him and T.Y. were like what was carrying the team. And I think a lot of people were just shocked because like it was supposed to be, oh, this is the year like the defense got better, like they have more people around, the quarterback. But I think what you have to be happy about is that they still have that supporting cast. They still have that defense that's better.
They have a really good offensive line.
Yeah.
Like Quentin Nelson's unbelievable.
Animal.
I think this move takes the Colts, like losing Luck's an MVP candidate, like perennial, or was rather. I think going to Brissette, I think that takes you from Super Bowl / AFC championship contenders to still playoff contenders, regular playoff contenders, which is not a bad place to be.
Yeah. No, it's definitely not. When Brissette played 16 games for the Colts in 2017, his record was 4-11, 58% completion percentage, 13 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. QBR is a 41. I mean, yeah, the numbers aren't great. That was obviously a different Colts team too. I mean, that's
he was traded for a week before the season.
Yeah. So he was going to have some struggles in that too. Yeah, I mean, like I pointed out, or not trying. No, never mind. Jacoby Brissette, best backup. So the best case scenario. I mean, your quarterback retires. Like right now, who's Trubisky's backup?
Chase Daniel.
Yeah, you feel like the floor's falling out if that's the case.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Especially with how he looked against. Was it the Giants that he played against? Yeah. Tough game.
It was a tough game. I watched like a quarter and I was done.
And for the Packers, it'd be Tim Boyle. If your backup quarterback is Jacoby Brissette, this is not ideal, but it's all right.
Is Cardale Jones still backing up somewhere? Or is he out of the league? I know he was with the Chargers like 2 years.
Big 12.
I totally forgot about
Love that nickname.
I know he was like around before, but I don't know like where he's at now.
I'm looking him up.
You can do it.
He's on the Chargers.
Still? Okay. That's decent. Never played. Who did he start with?
The Bills is who drafted him.
Yeah. Wild.
Freaking nicknamed himself 12 Gauge. What a freaking alpha.
I love when people nickname themselves because they're always the worst names.
12 Gauge.
And Cardale Jones is the one that we ain't come here to play school.
Yep. All-time quote.
When at Ohio State, we ain't come here to play school. Amazing. Just phenomenal.
Wow. Okay.
We ended the show yesterday like this, and we're kind of pressed for time here too, so I'm going to do this. Give me one. Okay. Yesterday we did one sleeper team in the NFL. Give me one team that you think's overrated in the NFL in this upcoming season? Because I got one.
Or you start then.
Eagles. I'm
Interesting.
out on the Eagles.
Why?
I don't know why. Other than, I mean, like, you know, who's a running back? I mean, Jordan Howard, but also like he's not a 3-down
They're
back.
going to do a committee. They have Miles Sanders.
Miles Sanders. So running back is kind of iffy. I think a lot of people are super high on Carson Wentz, but also like, you know, yes, he was probably the MVP if he stays healthy 2 years ago, but then last year, you know, he played, and I know he was still hurt, and, you know, coming back from an ACL injury, but, you know, that team looked better with Foles. I mean, it really did, and there's something to be said about that, and I don't know. I just don't fully believe in the Eagles the way that I mean, you know, there's so many people that are having like in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
People that have, you know, their lock is Carson Wentz MVP. Wild. So Eagles, that's who I'm out on. Who's your guys' overrated NFL team?
It may be kind of lame. I would say the Rams. I mean,
Really?
Yeah. I mean, like, I'm just not like, I was never really set on them to begin with. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're a very solid team. I mean, there's a reason why they went to the Super Bowl. You can't knock them, but, you know, in a scenario where I feel like had the Rams and the Bears met in the playoffs, it'd be a totally different scenario.
I say that a lot.
But yeah, right, exactly. But yeah, no, I think the Rams, like for me, I was never really set on the Rams. I was just kind of like, oh, okay, they're good, but they're not like amazing. They don't blow me away.
Yeah. To me, I guess like 3 teams come to mind, and since you already said Eagles, I won't you know, spend time on that. But the Browns, it's like,
Oh, come on.
You're out on them? Or you
I'm
think
not
they're-
out
you
on them.
just
I think they're overrated.
Okay.
Like,
Okay,
That's
all
fair.
right, yeah,
That's fair.
I get
I think
that.
they're gonna be. I mean, when you have that much talent, it's hard to.
I'm all for the Browns hype.
when you-
They'll
yeah.
be better.
They'll definitely. I mean,
They could.
yeah, they'll be
Did they
better.
win the division?
I don't know.
Come on.
I definitely think they're contending for a playoff spot, and yeah, they probably win the division. I mean, everybody's like, oh my god, like Browns, like, but I'm not sure. And then the other team is because just this past like week, I've seen so much hype about the Packers, and it's just like I'm not sold on them. Maybe it's because I'm a Bears fan, but like I don't know,
Yeah.
I'm just not sold on them right now.
Yeah, I was surprised when ESPN had them at 10. They
Yeah.
did like they did the 1 through 32 ranking,
Yeah.
and they had them at 10. I mean, you made a valid point when we were talking about this earlier. Like, you know, what really is selling it, and it is a lot of just ifs or things hoping to fall in place. So,
Mine's Tampa Bay. I think we're really overestimating what Bruce Arians can do with Jameis Winston.
is Tampa Bay expected to be like solid this year?
I think that people are expecting them to like be back a little bit, like not as bad as they have been.
It's crazy.
Yeah. My other one would be the Vikings. Still garbage.
That defense is healthy this year, though. I don't know.
Kirk Cousins garbage.
The wonderful thing is that football is just right around the corner and just tomorrow. And make sure to tune in to tomorrow's WPGU 1071 Illini Drive. Jake will be here. Alec will be here. It'll be a fun little show, and it'll be all the hype for Thursday Night Football, Bears Packers. I won't be talking to you guys until that game is over. So football's back, baby. It's awesome. For myself, for Alex, for Brendyn, for Jake, this has been Illini Drive. Alex, hit the music.